Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Sparked. I am Abra Kurt, a certified integrative life and wellness coach and lifestyle designer, and Sparked is my weekly lifestyle series and a warm and welcoming interactive community that meets every single week right here in the comments of the show. Every single week, we light fires of connection, reflection, and inspiration around all things personal growth, wellness, and the world around us. So, if you are a dreamer, a doer, or anyone on a journey toward a more meaningful, fulfilling, or joyful life, you are in the right place, my friend. So, say hi, let me know you're here, and start connecting. Hi, I see Vicky, I see Scott, I see Rose, I see Trish. Welcome and happy new year, everyone. It is finally 2021. It is finally 2021. Happy New Year and welcome. While you're saying hi in the comments, I would like to ask you to drop a note about what you did on New Year's Eve. What did you do on New Year's Eve to celebrate the end of 2020 and ring in 2021? Let me know what you guys did for New Year's Eve in the comments while you're joining us. Hi, Donna. Happy New Year. Hello, Lisa. Happy New Year. While you guys are hopping on and saying hello, also drop a comment. Let me know how you celebrated New Year's Eve. What did you do on December 31st? To ring out the old and ring in the new of 2021. Let me know. I can't wait to read what you guys did because we are kind of an old, boring married couple with 4 cats that just sits around on our sofa. No, I'm kidding. We did that, but we still, have fun and do things as well. Hi, Tina. It is so great to see you here. George, it is so great to see you here. What did you guys do? Lisa ate fondue and drank Moscato listening to a DJ stream. That sounds fun. Scott is sharing that we cooked up some yummy food and wondered why Ryan Seacrest didn't look like Ryan Seacrest. Yeah, we were like, who's that guy? Is that him? I don't know. Yeah, it was just hard to tell. Vicky enjoyed a couple glasses of bubbly while lounging in her jammies. That is kind of exactly what we did. We opened a bottle of sparkling rosé and made this great seafood small plates buffet and just worked on a puzzle that's been kicking our butts for a couple weeks now and watched the ball drop, and I think we were in bed by 12:30. So if anybody else wants to share what you guys did on New Year's Eve, please let me know in the comments how you guys rang in the new year. In the meantime, I'm going to let you know what we have in store this evening because it is a new year. It is the first Sparked episode of 2021, and we're talking about how to cultivate a can-do spirit in 2021 to crush our goals and achieve our dreams, or at least make some really good progress on our dreams, but definitely achieve those goals this year. So here's what that means, all right? I'm going to share my signature formula that I literally check off boxes every day of a practice that keeps me centered, focused, happy, healthy, and on the path to achieving my goals. I'm going to share that and in the process launch a 10-day challenge associated with it so we can all do this thing together. So over the next 10 days, we are going to be revealing step by step what that practice looks like and engaging in some challenge activities together. So we're not going to do a different live video every day, but we are going to be doing that challenge together, and I will talk a little bit more about that later in the show. I am also going to dispel a little myth for you called New Year, New Me. And that's all I'm going to say for now, but we're going to talk about New Year, New Me. What is everybody else saying? Trish watched When Harry Met Sally and watched the ball drop with steak and lobster. I love me some lobster. Donna drank bubbly while laughing at a drunk Anderson Cooper. Jane is here listening as she's driving home from work. All right, Jane, listen. Don't text. Text when you get home. Drive safe. Love you. So glad you're here. All right, y'all. All right. We are going to talk about a formula for staying on track to achieve our goals. I'm going to talk about new year, new me, and I'm going to share some of my must-haves for a purposeful and productive year. Okay, my must-haves for a purposeful and productive year. And I'm going to reveal my January Let's Get Lit book club pick. And of course, because it is Sparked and we love this part of it, we are going to play a couple of rounds of New Year themed trivia. All right, you guys, if that lights your spark, please send up some hearts, hit that share button, and let's spread some New Year's cheer throughout our social media feeds because it is a new year. We have some great goal achieving tips to share tonight, and who doesn't need some more positivity to keep the momentum going to crush our goals in 2021? So send up some hearts, hit that share button, and let's dive in to tonight's episode of Sparked. All right, you guys, you know what we kick off Sparked with every single week, and that is the quote of the week. But before we do that, I want to ask you another question because it is the first episode of the new year. I want to ask you in the comments to share one resolution or goal that you set for 2021. What was a New Year's resolution or a new goal that you set for yourself in 2021? Before we get to the quote, in the comments, let us know one resolution or goal that you set for yourself in 2021. If you want to share with the group, let us know. In my Sparked Living Facebook group, which I hope y'all are in because it's kind of a companion group to this show. I'll talk about that later as a resource to keep us connected through the week as well. But I shared a post that said drop a GIF that represents a goal that you set or a resolution that you made for 2021. And they were pretty funny. I enjoyed reading through those today. What did George do? George watched a Hallmark Channel romantic movie while drinking bubbly. I love that, George. We watch Hallmark Channel movies all the time. And I'm super excited for the New Year's ones that are coming out. Now they have the countdown to Christmas is over, but the New Year's movies are coming up. So I'm super excited about that. Vicky says, get vaccinated and start living. Yeah, that might have been on a lot of resolutions and goals list for this year. Donna says weekly gratitude. I love that. Yeah, it's important to keep gratitude top of mind. Love those. Anybody else want to share a New Year's resolution or a goal that you set for yourself for 2021 in the comments? And I'm asking you guys to share those before we get to the quote because the quote is directly related to a mindset that can help us sort of frame how we want to think about the year ahead and change and cultivating new habits. So share those goals and resolutions, and I am going to dive in to the quote of the week. Trish wants to organize. Yes, organize. I think a lot of us probably feel the same way, Trish, after, maybe some things that piled up in 2020, right? Lisa needs to find a new place to live and make it a home no matter where it is. I love that. Yeah. Make the new place yours. That's where the fun is. That's where the fun is, right? Making it yours. Scott says to be more organized and hold himself accountable to staying more organized. Yes, I love that. I think Scott said follow through in the post earlier today. So follow through and staying more organized. I love that. We could definitely use some more organization in our household. So that should, cause a ripple effect around here. Looking forward to it. All right. I also want to point out that while you're in the comment section in the show description, you might also see some links to support our content and community because it is our viewers that keep this show running, keep the new original content coming week after week, and allow me to do what I do and bring us all together here every Monday evening to share in community, support each other, and talk about whatever theme we have on hand for the week. So You also know, if you've been here before, that every single week we pay those contributions forward with a 10% donation to a charity doing important work either in our local communities or around the country. And I can't wait to tell you guys about the charity that we are supporting this week, which I will do a little bit later in the show. So now let's dive into the quote of the week that can help us get in the right frame of mind for crushing those goals in 2021. All right, this week's quote comes from a philosopher who we have heard from before on Sparked. This week's quote comes from Socrates. And this is what Socrates has to say that I think can get us in the right frame of mind in 2021. He says, because a lot of us talk about change, right? In our goals, right? We want to be more this, more organized. A couple of us want to organize. Weekly gratitude. So it's a process or a habit that we want to do more of. George says he wants to write off the past year and go forward with gusto. Yes. So there's an element of change in all of our resolutions, in our goals, right? So this is what Socrates has to say. The secret of change is to focus our energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. The secret of change is to focus our energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And I love that because it's proactive, it's positive, it's forward thinking, it's about momentum to carry us forward. It's not about looking back, right? It's right in line with what George said, let it go. Carry forward any lessons or blessings that can inform and help us in the new year, right? That's super important, right? That we don't just close off everything. We always learn from hard things. There's always a blessing to carry forward, right? So we carry those things forward. The rest we leave behind. We focus that energy on building the new, right? Okay, I love that quote from Socrates, and I wanted to share that because I think it's a mindset that we can all embrace, that building the new, this is the thing we want to construct, right? We're not stuck in any of the mindset that mired us down a little bit maybe in 2020. So it's a new year. We are focused on building the new. And now I want to ask our first trivia question of 2021. Our first trivia question of 2021, because it is a new year. Our trivia is New Year's themed. And, a lot of us, I read in the comments, watch the ball drop in Times Square on New Year's Eve, right? A lot of us were watching Ryan Seacrest, wondering, is that really him? He looks different. Watching the ball drop in Times Square, right? So our first trivia question of the new year has to do with the Times Square ball drop. And the question is, what are the triangles on the Times Square ball made from? What are the triangles on the Times Square ball made from? So take your guesses, share your answers in the comments. What are the triangles on the Times Square ball made from? I don't know. What do you think? All right. So while you guys are taking your guesses in the comments, I want to talk a little bit about something that has to do with the Socrates quote about building the new, right? How many of us have ever woken up on January 1st and we're super excited? We're already in that mindset of building the new. We're already there. And hey, Julie, it's great to see you here. We jump out of bed and we declare, we say, new year, new me. It's a new year, new me. How many of us have done that, right? I have. I've done that. I used to say that. And it sounds like a good thing, right? It's right in line with Socrates, stop fighting the old, build the new year, new me, right? We jump into the new year with all of that enthusiasm on January 1st. Well, spoiler alert, it's actually not as good a thing as we may think it is. And in fact, as a life coach, I'm going to go there and say that a new year, new me mindset is actually setting us up to fail. and is maybe the reason why we don't achieve those goals by December 31st every year. That new year, new me mindset. And here's why. Here's why. If you hated kale on December 31st, you're still going to hate kale on January 1st, right? You're not going to wake up and say, I'm going to be healthier this year, new me. I'm going to eat all the things, all the kale salads, do all the things, new year, new me. No, if you hate it on December 31st, you're still going to hate it on January 1st. If you didn't like the gym on December 31st and the thought of going to the gym just makes you want to like crawl under a blanket and binge some Netflix, you're not going to love going to the gym anymore on January 1st. You might go those first couple of days. You're still not going to love it as much, right? If you hadn't written a single word of that memoir that you think is on your heart at all, you're not going to wake up on January 1st with a new book that has just sprung forth, right? But we think we can flip this switch. We think we can flip a switch, and on New Year's Day, we are somehow magically granted this whole new me. And we're not, you guys. We are not. Hey, Dana, it's great to see you here. Happy New Year to you. It's not. We're not in a whole new body on January 1st, and we can't flip a switch. It's not Freaky Friday, you guys. It's not Freaky Friday. We didn't wake up in a new body. I'm not Jodie Foster. You're not Lindsay Lohan. Jamie Lee Curtis isn't in my movie, okay? Hi, Mimi. It is so great to see you here. Oh my gosh, you just put a huge smile on my face. It has been too long. All right. So there's not like a Freaky Friday thing happening. We can't flip a switch and wake up as a new me. And that mindset sets us up to fail because here's what happens, all right? We wake up and we think, it's a new year, new me. I'm just going to crush this. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to eat salads every day. I'm going to write that book by the end of the month. I'm going to write in my journal every day. I'm going to be super organized. I'm going to do all the things and just crush every single day. And then the first time we don't, the first time we get too busy or we have a setback or we eat a box of donuts or, you know, the kids leave crap everywhere and we kind of lose it, right? Like we start beating ourselves up and we look around and we say, I failed already. Dang it. It's like, I don't know, January 18th and I'm already off track. And all of that self-doubt, all of that negative reel that goes on in our minds starts creeping back in and we beat ourselves up for falling off track, okay? And the new year, new me goes right out the window and we just throw it all away before spring even rolls around, right? Scott says now he wants a box of donuts. Yesterday in the retreat I led, I asked a question about what kind of cupcake everyone would be if they were a cupcake, and I wanted some cupcakes after the end of that check-in. So yeah, guys, we're not new me's on January 1st. Like Mimi said, it's about what's sustainable, right? Nobody wakes up on January 1st and is like, oh man, I am going to write my book this year. I'm going to get super organized. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to lose that quarantine 15. I know it is going to take a crap ton of work, but I am in it for the long haul and I can't wait to do all the really hard things that are going to get me there. Who wakes up and says that, right? No one. But that is the truth. That is the reality. And the new year, new me mindset sets us up to fail because it makes us think subconsciously that it should just be that easy. And it's not. Because real change, like Mimi shared, it's about sustainability, right? It's about doing the thing over and over and over for the long haul. In the retreat I led yesterday, I shared a quote at the end from the MacArthur Genius Grant winner, Angela Duckworth, from her book, Grit. And she says, enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. It's that endurance that checks the box on the goal at the end of the year. It's not the new me. It's the endurance. It's the in it for the long haul. All right, so new year, new me myth debunked, you guys. All right, so who was taking some guesses at those crystals? All right, aluminum, glass, crystals, mirror, Swarovski crystals. I see Swarovski crystal. Donna says she thinks this year it was Waterford crystal instead of Swarovski. Yeah. Tina says at least that's easier to spell. Yeah. All right, you guys. All of you who said crystals, you were absolutely right. And yes, Donna is correct. It was Waterford crystal is what this year's ball was made from in Times Square. Waterford crystal triangles on the New Year's Times Square ball. All right, good guesses, everyone. Good guesses. It does look like mirrors, right? A mirror ball, like the disco ball, right? Swarovski and Waterford crystals. This year it was Waterford. All right. So we've dispelled that new year, new me myth because it is actually about what is sustainable. It is about the long haul, everyday habits, those sustainable actions and activities that get us there in the long term, right? Okay. So before we get to what I consider my formula to keep me on track, it is literally a daily routine of the things that keep me focused, happy, healthy, fulfilled, and look at all of my facets of well-being, okay? All of the facets of our well-being that we've talked about here before, right? Those 4 pillars of wellness, our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. We need to nurture those things every day if we want to be able to do the big things that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the year. All right. So I have a second trivia question, and then I'm going to dive into introducing my formula. All right. So second trivia question is, in the Scottish tradition, whom do you kiss on New Year's Eve? In the Scottish tradition, whom do you kiss on New Year's Eve? All right. Take your guesses in the comments. In the Scottish tradition, whom do you kiss on New Year's Eve? And I am going to tell you a little bit about my formula for staying on track. All right. So, as you've probably heard me mention, if you've tuned into this show before, every now and then, one of my big goals is to be a best-selling author. I have a book in me that is related to life coaching, and it's part memoir, part, coaching perspective. And I've been working on it for a while and tweaking as I go. And there's some additional sort of learnings I want to do. I'm working on my yoga teacher certification, and I'm working on a foundations. Well, I'm not doing both at the same time, but I also have queued up for myself a foundations of positive psychology specialization from the University of Pennsylvania that I want to finish, and then get back to that book and use the things that I learned to help inform the content of the book, right? So being a best-selling author is on my big dreams writ large that I have for my life, okay? And when I started writing that book, I wanted to put a chapter in there about what keeps us focused on those big dreams, right? Because our individual year by year goals are the things that need to support those really big dreams. Because the big dreams are the things that we want to look back on. If today was our last day on earth, right? And we were looking back over the life we've lived, we would want to say our big dreams were the things that we accomplished. That was the life we built. Whether it's about our family, whether it's about a business legacy that we've left, whether it's about what we've accomplished in our career or what we've done for our communities, right? Those are the big dreams. Those are the things that we want to look back over our life and say, those were my accomplishments, right? The goals are the things that we do year by year by year, day by day by day, that get us to those big dreams. All right. So when I'm writing this book, I put a chapter in there about my daily routine. And of course, as I'm outlining things, I actually write on paper before I, take to the keyboard. And I'm outlining these things, and, I'm a word nerd. And so I'm like, I can turn this into an acronym. I can turn this into a fun acronym and have some wordplay with this formula that I'm sharing in the book, right? So that is what I did. My formula is actually an acronym, and I'm going to share it in a minute, but we're going to get back to this trivia question right now. And let's see what the guesses are. Hey, Terry, it is great to see you here. You never have to apologize for being late. We are just glad you are here. Lisa says, oh, your mother, a couple of your mother guesses. All right, there's a trivia question for anybody who just jumped on. We are answering the trivia question in the Scottish tradition. Whom do you kiss on New Year's Eve? And people are taking some guesses here. There's a couple of your mothers. Vicky says a fool. I think that was an episode of like the Golden Girls. They were talking about, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. Let's see. Jane says everyone. She lived in Scotland. She's home now, by the way. Okay, so you're not riding and driving. Okay, so Jane says everyone. We've got a couple of your mothers, and we've got a fool for our answers. All right, so in the Scottish tradition, whom do you kiss on New Year's Eve? Yes, the woman who lived in Scotland nailed it with everyone. Everyone. You're supposed to kiss everyone in the room with you on New Year's Eve. And their New Year's Eve celebration, and I know this is not news to Jane, but maybe to some of you watching, the Scottish New Year's Eve celebration is called Hogmanay. And their tradition is to kiss everyone in the room. It's supposed to bring friends and family closer together at midnight on New Year's Eve. I don't know. They probably didn't do that this year because COVID, right? But that's the tradition. So in Scotland, they're kissing everybody in the room on New Year's Eve. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I would want to do that. All right. Hey, Craig, it's great to see you here. You never have to apologize for being late. It's just great to see you. We are talking about my formula for achieving goals. What I do, kind of those boxes I check every single day to keep me focused, to keep me on track to achieve my goals. All right. And I was talking about the book I'm writing, and when I was working on the chapter that talked about daily routines and how they can set us up for success and the things I do, I realized I could make a cute little acronym out of my daily routine. So if I can make a cute little acronym out of something, I do that because I did that with my goal setting method. And I will share with you all who shared your goals with me. If anybody else who jumped on a little bit later wants to share, at the top of the show, we were sharing a New Year's resolution that we made this year or a new goal that we've set for ourselves. Dana says we could do the European side of the face air kisses. Absolutely. Happy New Year, everybody. All right. So one of my goals that I set for myself in 2021 was to rework what I've been calling my heart goal setting method. So when I started life coaching, I wanted a signature program to use with my clients to help them set and achieve goals. And I came from the corporate world, and, you know, we've all been through probably like that SMART goal setting method, right? Everyone who's ever worked for a corporate sort of entity or, you know, a organization that used that kind of goal setting and review method, right? We've all set SMART goals. And they just felt so corporate and like kind of inauthentic and sterile and weird. And I wanted, you know, all of this to reflect a very personal, authentic, more actionable, more achievable way of setting goals. And so I created this heart goal setting method to work with my clients. And the feedback has been amazing. My clients tell me that it's so personal, and there are things in there that we focus on. The A in heart stands for alignment. And we talk a lot about values and how our goals should align with our values. And the H is for habit, and all of these, you know, great pieces of the acronym, right, that I love to create for heart goals. Well, one of my goals was to trademark that process and make it part of my business plan to license to other coaches. And while I started going through, you know, some of the research to get that process off the ground, I realized that somebody else was already doing it. And it wasn't just like, some other random life coach somewhere. It was Whitney English, who is the founder of Day Designer, which is the day planner I use every day. How I didn't know this, I don't know, but I didn't. So, one of my goals for 2021 is to rework my heart method to something that isn't trademarked by somebody else already. Although I do have to say, as I did the research and I dug into what her acronym stands for and all the processes that she, encourages people to use, they're totally different. They're totally different. My heart method, her heart method, two totally different things. We just called it the same thing, but I still don't want to like copy. So, and plus I do want to trademark it, and she beat me to the punch with that. So, back to the drawing board, but not really. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I just want to use what I've already started and make a new acronym. So that is the long way of saying I love acronyms. I'm going to be working with acronyms a lot at the beginning of this year because that is a goal I want to knock out quickly and start that process because from what I've read about trademarking so far, it's, not the most fun thing to try to do, especially when you're on a budget. So, and you're trying to do a lot of it yourself. All right, so acronyms for setting and achieving goals and success. Spark heart goals. Yeah, Julie, you're right here. Okay, because yes, Sparked is going to definitely play a role in what I call the new process. So yeah, we're right here. The acronym I use for the daily routine that helps me stay focused, helps me stay healthy, helps me, keep track of my four pillars of wellness all around, right? Mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Hey, Janet, it is great to see you here. We are just digging into the acronym that is my formula for staying on the path to achieving my goals. And I call that my can do gems. Yeah, I know it maybe sounds a little bit hokey, right? I'm a life coach. We get to be hokey sometimes, all right? But that is where the title of tonight's episode, A Can Do Spirit for 2021, came from. This formula I use for my daily routine, which I call my can do gems. And so each one of those letters, CANDOGEMS, stands for a different practice that is part of my daily routine that I, literally think about every single day. Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do my N? Did I do my E? So I know that my day is rounded, I'm focused, I'm doing the things that I need to fulfill and stay on track. And let me tell you, the same way that heart goals has been really successful with my clients, and will continue to be hopefully in whatever new iteration it takes moving forward, the Can Do Gems thing has been really powerful for me personally. It has allowed me to stay focused on the things that have allowed me to grow my business this year, to stay on track through 2020 while, a lot of people struggled through last year. My can do gems, like I was right there every single day. I'm like, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. This is what's keeping my emotional health right. This is what is keeping my mental health right. This is what's keeping me focused on my work, on my ability to be here and show up for my communities and for my clients. And so I want to share that with you all. And in the process of doing that, I was talking with my dear friend Lisa, who is part of our community, who has a community of her own called DC Fempreneur that supports women entrepreneurs in the DC metro region. And Lisa was looking for somebody to lead a challenge with her group in 2021 to kick off the year around goal setting and something that can help us either set goals or stay on track with our goals. And so I was like, hey, my Can Do Gems thing might really work for that. So we talked through and we decided, yeah, let's do that together. And I was like, well, I want to open that up to my audiences as well. So I want to bring us all together and do this challenge over the next 10 days that I'm about to launch here tonight. And so what the challenge looks like is this. Yes, Lisa, you're very welcome. I love what Lisa is doing with DC Fempreneur. I love the way she is showing up for and supporting women business owners in this region, giving us platforms to let our work, shine and tell our stories. And I'm happy to give that shout out because it is a community that lifts me up. I know. So I want to share the Can Do Gems in a challenge with you guys. And I want to get us all engaged in doing this together for the next 10 days because the practice are things that build on each other. Okay. And so they're not like these really labor intensive things that you're going to have to sit down and think like, God, I have to do 9 more things a day now. In addition to like the goals I set, you're giving me a list of 9 things. No, it's not, 9 new things that you're going to have to do. These are things that are going to keep us focused, though, keep our mindset right, keep our hearts right, keep our bodies right. So these are things that are related to our 4 pillars of wellness, which is my lane, my area of expertise as a life coach. And these are what keep me focused and what I want to share with you. So we're going to kick off that challenge tonight. I am going to reveal my first Can Do gem that starts with the letter C. And every day for the next 9 days after today, I am going to reveal what the next letter stands for in the Sparked Living Facebook group that I created on New Year's Day as a companion for this show. So we have a place to connect. We have a place to talk with each other, to support each other between episodes of this show week to week. So Sparked Living exists. If you're not a member, go after the show's over, sign up, join. Most of the people that I'm connected with here as friends, I've sent invitations to. I know a lot of you are already there with us in that community. That is where I dropped the question today about share a gift that represents a goal or resolution you set. So we're going to start the challenge here tonight, and we're going to finish it off over the next 9 days in the Sparked Living Facebook group. So Can Do Gems is the acronym. And what this challenge is going to look like, I'm going to reveal what each letter stands for. We're going to talk about what it means. And then the challenge piece is there is going to be a take action prompt, that there is actually something actionable that you can do in your life that day to start building that practice or that mindset or whatever that thing is into your own daily routine. And then we'll build day after day into a practice that keeps us all focused and achieving our goals. All right, so Can Do Gems, CANDOGEMS is my formula. I'm going to reveal what that means over tonight and the next 9 days. And by the end of it, we are going to have a path to success for this year. All right, so the first letter is C. And what does that stand for? The C in Can Do Gems stands for consistency. The C in Can Do Gems stands for consistency. And it's consistency in our efforts, our actions, and our habits, right? Consistency in our efforts, our actions, and our habits. So that C in Can Do Gems is for consistency, because we need that. We need to do the thing. That's the endurance that we talked about earlier, right? It's not the flipping a switch and just saying suddenly I'm a new me. No, these are things we are going to have to do. We're going to have to do actions, habits, the thing every day after day after day. If I want to write a book by the end of this year, I'm going to have to write pages every single day. I'm going to have to put words on paper, right? If we want to, get healthier, if we want to tone muscles, we're going to have to, work with some machines and weights and, maybe do some yoga and do practices that help build that kind of strength, right? So whatever our goals are, we're going to have to do consistent daily things that allow us to get there by the end of this year and say, yeah, I achieved that goal. So here is the take action prompt for consistency. All right, here's the take action prompt for consistency, day 1 of the Can Do challenge. All right, Julie says, make us some visuals for each letter. I feel like, okay, I just have to give you guys a little background on Julie and me, because we've known each other since we were 4, literally. Okay. And when we were in high school together, people used to say that we would finish each other's sentences. We were those kind of BFFs, right? And she's literally finishing my sentences for me here in the show tonight. So, Julie, yes, there are visuals that are going to go along with each letter. And so the first one I'm going to post in the Sparked Living group tonight to reinforce what we've talked about in this show. I'll post day 1 of the challenge with the letter C and its take action prompt in the Spark Living group. And then every day, how I will reveal what the next letter stands for and what the take action prompt is with a new graphic for each letter. So, yes. Yeah, LOL, we are still doing it. Yeah, still right there, even across screens, miles and miles apart. Yeah. So there will be graphics for each of the letters. You don't have to memorize this stuff. There is a resource in the Sparked Living Facebook group that will keep us all connected where I'm going to share those graphics. I will post C tonight right after the close of this show so you can refer back to it. But I do want you to remember that take action prompt, okay? The take action prompt for consistency is, okay, because consistency is about doing that thing every day. So the take action prompt is to write down the habit, the thing, whatever it is that you can do every day or every week or whatever it is on a consistent basis that will help you break down your bigger goal into smaller chunks and achieve it, right? So for an example, if mine is to finish that book, right? If I have 7 more chapters to finish and, 140 more pages to write, I need to look at what that is going to look like between now and the end of the year. Okay. And so knowing, my show schedule, my client schedule, all of those things, what chunks of time, how many days a week am I going to be able to devote to writing pages? Okay. So how many pages do I need to write a week? And so breaking that down, well, this consistent action is going to be, I need to write, and I'm not actually doing the math. I haven't broken this down for myself yet, but say it's, I don't know, 10 pages a week or whatever, right? And it's, it's not that many. But say it's something along those lines, right? So that is my consistent action. I need to be consistently churning out that number of pages every week to get to my goal by the end of the year. Or maybe your goal is to lose the quarantine 15, right? That's one of mine as well. So I need to start tracking my calorie count every day because I use an app called Lose It that helps me track my activity, when I get on the elliptical, how many minutes am I on there, how many minutes am I doing yoga, and what did I eat today? So my consistent daily action is making sure I enter my stuff in there so I see how many calories I'm eating. Am I exercising enough to burn my intake for the day? Those things, right? That's my consistent daily action. So the take action prompt is to look at your goals that you have set for 2021, whatever they may be, and to think about how you can chunk that goal down into smaller, actionable bites that you can do consistently over time to achieve your goal by a certain date, whether it's by the end of the year, whatever the time frame is that you've set for yourself, right? So consistency, all right? What is the thing that you can do on a consistent basis? So that is our take action prompt for day 1, and that is the launch of the Can Do Gems challenge to cultivate a can-do spirit for 2021. I'm going to post that graphic in the Sparked Living Facebook group when the show ends, and I'm going to post it in Lisa's group. If there's anybody here from Lisa's organization as well, I will be sharing those images in both groups for people who are following the challenge in both places. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking all about what the letter A means, and there will be a take action prompt to go along with it. Dana says, it is so good to have a Julie in your life. Hers is Pam, who she's known since 1978. Yes, we need to keep, okay, Dana, just another kind of weird, synchronicity there. Julie's mom's name is Pam. So I have a Julie and a Pam in my life because Julie's mom's name is Pam, and she was not only my best friend's mom, but my first grade teacher. So I get to have both. And I've known her since the 70s as well. So how's that for some odd coincidence? All right. So that is the formula. All right. It's the acronym Can Do Gems. Tonight we talked about C for consistency. Our take action prompt is to think about breaking our big goals down into the smaller actionable chunks, that consistent thing that we can do, okay, time after time, day after day, week after week, whatever it is, to achieve that goal. Tomorrow is all about the letter A, and I am going to be revealing that in the Sparked Living Facebook group. And that post will go up at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So anytime after 10 a.m., you can check there and see what the letter A stands for, what the take action prompt is that day, and that's how we'll stay on track through the next 9 days. All right. You may be asking yourself, well, if this is a 10-day challenge, CANDOGEMS, that's 9 letters. How are you making a 10-day challenge out of it? Well, the 10th day is a bonus, okay? It is going to be a list of resources and ways that we can continue to stay on track, books and apps and all kinds of things that I use in my life that also help to keep me on track throughout the year. So that's going to be a recap of all the days and a list of resources that will help us stay on track. So today and each of the next 8 days will be about revealing what those letters mean. Day number 10 is going to be a list of resources to help support all of that for us. All right. I said I was going to share a couple of those must-have things in the episode tonight, and so I want to do that now. And the first thing I want to share is indispensable to me, and you've already heard me mention it once tonight when I was talking about my failed attempt at trademarking my heart goal setting method because somebody else was doing it first. And it was the woman who invented this. And this is my day designer. This is my day planner. Yes, I am super old school. I use a paper day planner, and it is my single biggest tool for success. I use this every single day. Whatever, it doesn't have to be a day designer. I'm also a day designer affiliate. So, I just want to disclose that if anybody purchases a day designer through the widget on my site, I do get a commission from that. But I don't just love day designer because I am an affiliate. I became an affiliate because I love it so much and have used it for years. And I even tried a different planner that, a marketing expert who I love and listen to her podcast constantly recommended a different planner. So I tried it for a quarter and I didn't like it at all and I bought a new day designer in the middle of the year to go back to it because I just prefer it. But whatever it is, I recommend a paper planner. It doesn't have to be day designer, but some kind of paper planner. All right, you guys. And here's why. Because even for those of us who use, Scott and I still use a Cozy app. It's called COZI to coordinate our own personal schedules. So we know when we each have meetings or client sessions, or he's doing a co-write on Zoom or wherever on Skype in Nashville, or when I have client sessions, or, our shows are scheduled and all those kinds of things. But for my personal stuff, I use a paper planner, and I use Day Designer because it also has a spot for every single day to write down my big 3. It has timed half-hourly increments that I can do my schedule in. It has a to-do list area. It has a reminder about bills due. We can jot things down in there. If we want to do dinner planning, there's a menu block. It's just the perfect planner. There's like a little white space at the bottom to jot notes in. There's even a little corner for gratitude. It just has all the things. There are tabbed monthly dividers that you can use to plan your whole month out. And I also love it because at the beginning there are Venn diagrams, for those of us who are still kind of nerdy that way, about like our values, passions, and strengths and things like that. And so I just love filling all those things out at the beginning of the new year. A brand new paper planner is just kind of that symbolic fresh start for me at the beginning of the year. So a paper planner, I highly recommend to keep things organized. And I've mentioned here before that it is actually science. It is actually science that we are 42% more likely to achieve our goals when we write them down. And that means even the little things day to day, the big things. Like if I know on Fridays, I want to have my sparked content finished for the next week's show by end of day Friday, and I write that down, like make sure it's finished today. Or, I have a client session, I need to prepare for and make sure that that is scheduled in my day block, right? That goes in my big three for the day. Or, I have a challenge I'm launching, so I need to make sure I have my graphics ready for social media, those kinds of things, right? Go in my big three, and when I write them down, they're top of mind. I don't forget them. And, I have to check those things off, right, every day. So a paper planner makes us more successful because it forces us to write things down, and we look at it and we stay accountable to it, versus a digital calendar that we can just close the app on our phone and put away. But if there's something on paper right in front of us that's still staring at us at the end of the day on our desk and we didn't check it off yet, we're going to have to get that thing done, right? So paper planners keep us more accountable to our goals. Okay, paper planners keep us more accountable to our goals. So highly recommend them. I use Day Designer, love, love, love it. And like I said, I'm an affiliate. So if anybody wants to check them out, there is a widget on my website, abracurt.com, that you can click through and browse their 2021 collection. They're beautiful. My cover is called Wildflowers, and I loved it. I love the connotation of what wildflowers is, and I just love the colors on this cover. So they always have like maybe 8 or so different really beautiful artistic covers every year as well. All right, must have number two, and this is also something that I've talked about before, a notebook or a journal, and this is mine. I literally have, a dozen copies of this exact same notebook or journal because I love it. I love that it's shiny and gold and sparkly. I love that it says "Make It Happen" on the front. This is what I use as my journal. And I write in this every single morning. I've even gotten my husband into journaling, you guys. We have a journaling ritual that we do together in the morning over my morning coffee, his morning juice. And it helps us stay connected again to our goals, to the things we want to accomplish, to our gratitude, as Donna mentioned. That was one of her goals, a weekly goal that she's setting for herself in 2021. We do a gratitude section. So it just keeps us grounded in the things we want, the things we're grateful for. All that goes into the journal. So I highly recommend something that you're just writing in your goals, your gratitude, your feelings, emotions. Some of us work through, some difficult things in our journals that we're going through as well. We work through, good things in our journals as well, in our gratitude sections, right? So using a notebook or a journal every single day is another one of my must-haves for a purposeful and productive year. And number 3 is right behind me right here. And this is my 2021 vision board, And this is the thing where the magic happens for me. When I make this every year, it is a ritual. I sit down and methodically cut out images and think about what my word of the year is. And this year my word of the year is design. And paste these things with real intention and energy. And I think I shared last week in the episode where we discussed the book Big Magic, how there is literally, you could draw a line from my vision boards through my life, from the last one I can go back to in 2015 to the present, and you can see the trajectory of my life has played out per the content of my vision boards. So there's purpose, there's magic, there's energy in those. It is a must have. It is a ritual I do at the beginning of the year every year. And this year I was super excited to make that a small part of the retreat that I did yesterday for my first annual, which I'm going to maybe do actually quarterly this year, to keep checked in with everyone. Women's retreat to kick off the new year, set some goals, claim our power words for the year, and get a kickstart on making our vision boards for the year. So that is must have number 3 for me. And I wanted to say one more thing about a must have. It's kind of the fourth must have, and it's not a tangible thing. It's not a tangible thing, but it's so important. It's just as crucial as these other 3 things that I've just named, and that is boundaries. That is boundaries. And what that means is you are going to have to set boundaries around your time and your energy to get the things done that you want to do. Because if we want to level up our lives, we're going to have to level up something else, right? We're going to have to put more time into the work we do. We're going to have to put more energy into the work we do. Maybe we're going to have to get up a half hour earlier every day. I'm the getter upper earlier person in our house. Scott is the night owl and stays up later to work on like his shows and his music and things like that. I'm the one getting up at 4:30 in the morning on days that I have, like really big things to do, to get things done early, because I'm not a stay up late kind of person, to get things done. But yeah, Scott is not a coffee person. Yeah, no. Lisa says she uses the plum paper planner now. Oh, that sounds pretty. I'm going to have to check that out. Although I'm a day designer person, but I always like to look at what else is out there. Yeah, Scott's definitely not a coffee person. Tea and juice. I have to have my coffee like first thing in the morning. Or it's just, not good things. Okay, so boundaries. We are going to have to set boundaries around our time, and not just set them, but enforce them. So if we say, I need to take 10 minutes every morning of me time in, the exercise room to meditate, have my white space, have that time, like I would like to carve out that boundary, I need to enforce it. And we need to speak to and communicate to the people in our lives what those boundaries are and ask for their support and help, because the people that we're with on a daily basis, the people who are in our lives, our partners, right, our kids in many cases, right, as we're helping them set goals and achieve things in their own lives, talk to them about the boundaries that we are setting and carving out for ourselves, because those things are so important. Because when they start to close in on us, what's the first thing that goes, right? Oh, the new thing, the thing that we wanted to do for us, right? That's what gets kicked out, right? No, we need to set and enforce boundaries around our time and energy to allow us to focus on those things. So that's the fourth and probably the most important thing that we do to keep on track, because we're not going to have time to write in our day designers. We're not going to have time to journal, right? We're not going to have time to make our vision boards, right? If we don't create and enforce those boundaries around our time and energy. Okay. I almost forgot to do the moment of joy tonight. And the moment of joy is really important. But we saved it to the end because it is deeply connected to something else that we do here on a weekly basis at Sparked. So I want to share this week's moment of joy as we are wrapping up the end of the show. And then I want to talk about the charity that we are supporting this week. And so if you are considering a contribution to support our content and community here at Sparked, 10% goes to a wonderful charity doing important work either in our local communities or across the country somewhere. And this week I'm super excited that these things are going hand in hand, our moment of joy and our charity. All right, so our moment of joy this week starts out not so joyful, okay? The week before Christmas, an electrical fire started at the Wonder Dogs facility in Atlanta. And Wonder Dogs is actually spelled W-underdogs, and I'm not sure necessarily what the W stands for, but it's like read all together as Wonder Dogs. So a week before Christmas, an electrical fire sparks. One of Wonder Dog's signature programs teaches at-risk kids about compassion and responsibility through animal rescue and rehabilitation. So they actually house dogs and cats at their facility that are part of their programs to teach kids about compassion for animals. And then these animals get placed in forever homes. So they rescue animals, they're part of their humane education programs, and then the animals get placed in forever homes. So there are animals living at this facility, and an electrical fire sparked on the week before Christmas. No one was in the facility at the time, but 53-year-old Keith Walker was heading to Wonder Dogs to walk his pit bull that morning. Now, Keith is homeless. Keith is 53 years old, and he has been homeless for the better part of his life. You guys, for the better part of his life, he has been homeless, and Wonder Dogs shelters his pit bull. His pit bull is part of their humane education work, and he goes to Wonder Dogs to pick up his pit bull and take him for walks. He was on his way to Wonder Dogs that morning when he saw the fire. So he enlisted another person to call 911 and rushed inside and started pulling animals out of this burning building. Wonder Dogs is home to 10 cats and 6 dogs, and Keith saved every single one. Every single one he rescued from that fire. They are all doing fine. And Victoria Stillwell, some of you may have heard of her. She's a celebrity dog trainer, and she's actually on the advisory board of Wonder Dogs, said Keith is a true hero and the guardian angel that was watching over Wonder Dogs. And indeed he is, because if he hadn't been there that day, saw the fire, it could have spread, and all of those precious animals could have lost their lives. Keith is a hero and a guardian angel. But that is not the end of the story. That is not the end of the story. As luck would have it, another guardian angel had recently donated a new facility to Wonder Dogs. So volunteers heard about the fire. They showed up with vans and cars and even a donated truck to safely transport all of the animals to their new building. And donations have poured in to help Keith as well. And Wonder Dogs is working to find the perfect homeless advocacy group to help him start his new chapter in life, you guys. So I know Dana said tears of joy. I read this story and my heart was so full, and I ran down to tell Scott about it. Big hearts, you guys, big hearts for Keith, for Wonder Dogs, for those 16 precious fur babies who are still alive today because Keith was there and ran into a burning building to save every single one of them. And so that leads me to this week's charity, you guys. And you may have guessed already what it is. But tonight's charity is Wonder Dogs in Atlanta. But here's the thing. Those of you who know, my husband also has a weekly live music show that he does here on Facebook on Wednesdays, and he also does a charity. Christine says, how do you read these things out loud without bursting into tears? I know. It takes practice. There's another thing I'm about to read in 2 seconds to close the show, though, that I might, it's going to be a little bit hard. So Scott does a show, I do a show. We both donate 10% of all the contributions that come in to support our community, our content, his music, my work, to charity every week. This week we are joining forces with both of our shows. So spoiler alert for y'all who watch his show on Wednesday, Break Out the Tissues again. But we are joining forces this week, and we are combining the contributions from both of our shows, and we are splitting them in half. And we are contributing half of the money that comes in to Wonder Dogs and their amazing programs to support the fur babies and their humane education. But we were both, and here's where I am just about to tear up, Christine. We were both so moved by Keith's bravery and compassion and caring for those animals. Half of that money is going to go to Keith personally to support the other donations that have poured in to help him start his brand new chapter. This week is all about new beginnings, new year, and we want to be a part of helping Keith start his new chapter that hopefully leads to a forever home for him as well. And he is no longer homeless. So that is where the 10% of our contributions are going this week. If you are thinking about making a donation to support our content and community, Wonder Dogs and Keith, our hero and guardian angel, are going to be the recipients of that charity. So thank you so much for helping us pay it forward in such a meaningful way to kick off 2021. You guys, my heart, my heart. Okay. One last trivia question, and while you guys are answering it, I'm going to reveal my January Let's Get Lit book club pick, and then we are going to close tonight's show. All right, one last trivia question, and that is, in a tradition that originated in Saratoga Springs, New York, to usher in good luck for the new year, friends and family would gather around to smash a peppermint candy version of what animal? Okay, this tradition originated in Saratoga Springs, New York, and it's a New Year's tradition where they smash a peppermint candy version of what animal to usher in good luck for the new year. All right, you guys, take your guesses in the comments. Peppermint candy animal they smash on New Year's Eve to usher in good luck for the new year. And I'm going to try to hold back the tears while I share my January Let's Get Lit book club pick and talk about why. So, my pick for January is Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. And this is not a brand new book. This has been out for a number of years. It was published in 2012. So this has been around a while, but like revisiting Big Magic at the end of 2020, I thought starting 2021 by Daring Greatly would be a great way to keep the momentum going and carry us through this month if we are reading this together. I see some guesses coming up for the trivia question. What peppermint animal gets smashed at the beginning of the year to usher in good luck? I chose Daring Greatly because when I read this book, it just reminded me we have to stay in the game. We have to stay in the game. When we set these goals for ourselves, not giving up on ourselves, the people who are going to poo-poo us for wanting to do something better or change in some way or set a big goal, or the people who try to encroach on the boundaries, right? Like everybody has those, like, you're doing what? Like, really? All right, whatever, right? The kind of naysayers, maybe the frenemy or the people that are like not really into goal setting for themselves and, sometimes rain on other people's parades, right? They're there for all of us. And you guys, I talked about the retreat I led yesterday for a group of women called Light Your Spark. And my heart is still processing it. These women are amazing, and they came and they showed up and they were so open and supportive of each other and vulnerable and sharing their stories and so motivated to start this year in a positive way, and my heart is still processing. And so Daring Greatly, it felt like it was for them and about them in some way, because this is about how being the courage to be vulnerable transforms us, okay? And the way we live, love, parent, and lead, and it's about showing up. And so I just want to read the beginning of this for anybody who's maybe thinking about reading along in January or has heard of Brene Brown and maybe hasn't read Daring Greatly. The phrase Daring Greatly and why she titled her book this is from Theodore Roosevelt's speech, Citizenship in a Republic. And the speech is sometimes referred to as the man in the arena speech. You may have seen excerpts from it, like in sports arena. Like, it's a big sports motivating kind of speech. And so there are excerpts of it often in sports arenas. But it's not just about sports, you guys. And again, it was a Theodore Roosevelt speech that he delivered in April of 1910. And here's the passage that made the speech famous that Brene shares in her book, and that just sings to my heart and why I chose this book for January to kick off a new year for my book club and with all of you. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man and the woman who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself and herself on a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement? And who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails by daring greatly? Oh, it chokes me up, y'all. It chokes me up. And that is the book I've chosen for January. That is the book I'm sharing with you all. I wanted to share that passage because those are words to move us forward, to remind us daring greatly. It's the man and woman in the arena doing the things. And if we fail, if we fall short, at least we are daring greatly. All right. I've seen a lot of guesses come up. I see pig. Kenzie, it's great to see you here. Cow. Jane says it's a Welsh tradition to smash a peppermint pig. Vicky says donkey. Pig. Yeah, Lisa says, you know everything, Jane. She does. Jane is the queen of trivia. Jane is on my trivia team when this pandemic is over and we start going to pub trivia again. It is indeed a pig that we smash to usher in good luck for New Year's. And she says it's actually a Welsh tradition. And I read that maybe it originated then here in the United States in Saratoga Springs. And maybe those were some Welsh descendants. All right, so that is our show for tonight. I want to remind everybody to get on over to the Sparked Living Facebook group. If you are not already a member, join that group. That is where we are going to play out the next 9 days of the Can Do Challenge and reveal what each next letter stands for, one day at a time, and our take action prompt so that we can incorporate something into our own daily routines and keep us on that path for success. I am headed over there now to post today's graphic, which is C for consistency, and I will see you back over there tomorrow where I am all about the A. So, you guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you so much for ringing in the new year with me in such a positive, purposeful way. Love you all. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Dare greatly. And I will see you back here next week. Take care. Mwah.